Hey you all, welcome back to my channel. I was actually going to film a totally different YouTube video today, but as you can hear, I lost my voice. And the YouTube video I wanted to film today was like a really big one, like one that's very like a foundation of like what I do and who I am and what I'm here for. And okay, I'll give you a spoiler alert. It's going to be around energy weaving, talking about what is energy weaving and who it's for. However, because I lost my voice, as you can hear, my voice feels pretty rusty right now. I felt called to just share what feels alive for me right now with you all. And I have no idea where this is going to go, but I trust that whatever needs to happen from this is going to happen. So I was in a weekend women's retreat called the Feminine Reclamation. It's a 4 months program, and we had our in-person weekend last weekend, like this past weekend. Came back home last night, and waking up today, there was so much transformation that's been happening for me over the weekend, like literally almost every area that is related to what it means to be a woman. Talking about things around worthiness, things around, talking about things around self-worth, things around safety, relationship to my mother, relationship to my father, relationship to women, allowing myself to be held by women, relationship to my body, to my relationship to my womanhood. It has been such a powerful experience for me. And I just like really am present to the layers that are like, it's so important to do this type of work with women or with community. Like what I'm kind of here for is obviously, working with the chakras, with energy weaving and going to the deeper layers of an energetic misalignment, like whenever we have physical issues in our bodies or physical manifestations of issues with money or with our purpose or with relationships or with communicating or with connection to the earth or connection to God or spirit, or all of these different things, like all of these different ways that things are manifested for us as humans. Talking anxiety, depression, addiction, all of these things are just symptoms to the root cause that is in the energetic body, that is in our chakras. What I'm here for is going into the chakras and weave the chakras, like weave the energetic root of this physical manifestation of how it shows up in our lives. And this work is really important to being able to bring our parts back to ourselves and align our energy, so then our physical reality is going to match us. So whatever is happening in our chakras, our external world is going to match that, is going to reflect back of what is actually happening in our chakras. So obviously this is the work I do one-on-one with clients. And now I'm actually stepping into teaching my modality, which includes energy weaving, deep chakra work, like really working with the chakras as the map, like in a very deep way. And the actual process combine parts work, somatic work, guided visualizations, sentence stems. So all of it like mixed together into a modality. So right now I'm working on a sacred project of birthing this modality into the world. And the stage that I'm in right now is just talking to women who are in resonance with that. Either women who have done some work and they're feeling that draw, they feel ready to step into service and don't know exactly what it looks like for them, or women who feel drawn specifically to energy weaving. Even if you don't know what this is, there's something in your soul that when you hear this, it's like there's something that's pulling you. And I'm gonna again share a whole YouTube video about what energy weaving is, who it's for, what you could do with this, and all this good stuff. For now, if you don't know even what it looks like, I want to invite you to check out this video above, and I'm going to also link it in the description below. And in this video, I'm basically balancing through energy weaving the energies of masculine and feminine within us and for the collective. It's a transmission And the way that I'm delivering this transmission is through energy weaving. So inviting you to go look at it if you don't know anything about energy weaving, and see what's happening for you when you're looking at it. See what's happening for you when you're feeling into it, when if there's something sparking you. So right now I'm in a stage where I'm just talking to people. I'm just doing a research. I'm just interviewing women that feel drawn to either step into service or expand their existing services with energy weaving and with deep chakra work and all this good stuff. So if that's you, I want to invite you to check out the link in the description below. I would love to interview you for this sacred project that I'm working on. I am being guided by spirit, by my higher self throughout this entire process. And right now, the only step I have is to talk to people as much as I can. I'm not in a process of like selling anything because I have nothing to sell yet, but this is where I'm at, and I'm inviting you to just book an interview if that's you and if you're feeling drawn to this. I want to share today what I found this weekend is like how important it is for us to do the work, to do the inner work with sisters, or if you're a woman, or if you're a man, with brothers. Like, I feel like this work is so important because we are really able to heal so much of our wounds, our relational wounds with women. Or, for me at least, like what happened for me this weekend is like I was really able to heal a lot of my wounds with women, with like actual sisters, even though I've done a lot of work with my mother wound, but like actually being in sisterhood and being held by women and feeling safe with a group of women and feeling safe to fully express myself and everything that comes up for me has been so powerful for me. And I know that it's also really powerful for men if you're a man watching this, because my husband he's doing men's work, and for him to have brotherhood is so essential. And the thing that kept coming up for me around that, and it's actually the reason why I initially signed up for this program, is because I realized that there's a lot of things I bring up to my relationship to my partner, to my husband, that the way I bring it and how I bring it and the state that I bring it in is not healthy, is like not productive. It's like me being triggered, or me being in the part of me that is like rebellious teenager, for example. And when I bring it to my relationship to my partner, then like it's like kind of like get very dicey, because then he a lot of the time would play the role of my mother or my father or my therapist. And what I realized, and the reason why I joined to this program, is I realized like, oh, like having sisterhood, a group of women to process some of these things that are coming up for me, is very healthy. Because there are certain things that I can't bring into my partner from a lens of revealing and being vulnerable, because of my wounds of like being vulnerable with men, because of my wounds with men, and like feeling afraid of men, and because of the way I project my mother onto my partner. And so when it comes out this way in our relationship, it's kind of like poisoning our relationship. So having a group of women and to go into these wounds together and to process these things together with women has been so healing for me. And this is the reason why I joined the program. And I really felt it this weekend. I really felt it like, wow, there's like so many layers to this for me. Like how I haven't allowed myself to feel truly held by men. Even like I'm talking about my husband. Like, yeah, there are moments that I'm allowing myself, but there's like such like deep part of me that is like so afraid of fully like relax and let go. And I'm wondering if you can resonate with that. If you're someone that can resonate with that, I would love to hear from you. So let me know in the comments below. And if it's helpful for you, I would appreciate it if you like this video. But I really want to share about this because I don't feel like it's like talked much. And I feel like I had an idea of understanding of like, oh, this is really important, but I haven't fully felt it and experienced it. And the somatic felt sense of that is a whole another thing. It's a whole another level. I am realizing like how doing this work alone is like obviously very important, and like doing the internal work of aligning our energy and bringing our parts back to ourselves. But then there's also the external work, which is the relational work, which is the working through the wounds that happened in relationships with other women or with other men. And it's a whole another kind of world. And I feel like it's the balance there feels very important for me, and that's kind of like what I'm really present to right now. What I really wanted to come here and share is like that I'm feeling a lot of shame this morning from this program, like what, like not this program, something that happened yesterday right before leaving the container, and it brought up some shame in me around something specific that I'm not really feeling that it would be productive to go into this story about it. But what I've noticed today is that the ways that I've been defending this shame, because I've been such a pro of not feeling my shame like throughout my life, because of the way I grew up, I've been such a pro of like finding ways of not feeling this shame. So one of my mechanisms is to go into agitation or frustration or anger. So what I've noticed this morning is I went out to meditate on the grass, and all of a sudden my two dogs like got loud and got crazy next to me because they get really excited when both me and my husband are outside. And I got so upset because I was like, I just want to meditate. Can I just like relax in this house? And I literally said that. Which obviously like I'm really seeing like how I went completely into victim around that, and and then I moved to here and I like meditated here in this room, and then the dogs started knocking on the door because my husband went inside too, and they started knocking on the door, and I couldn't freaking drop in and meditate, and I got so upset and agitated, and I really wanted to blame my dogs for being dogs. And yeah, really seeing the seduction here and like going into victim. But then as I later did video journaling right before this actually, and I was noticing like this image of the shame that came up yesterday with this woman that I was talking to came up for me, and I was like, wow, yeah, I really feel like there's something here that I'm like not fully aware of that's like playing in the background. And it's like this shame layer of like how I'm trying to defend it through this frustration and through this anger and blame my dogs for it or blame my partner for it. And it's like not really what's happening. Like what's happening is me really feeling a lot of shame around this experience that happened yesterday. I am just like wanting to come here and to be seen in it, and like just really allow myself to go into the sensation of the shame, and just get to know it and see what it brings up for me. So it feels like the shame feels like a sensation, like a tension, like, but it's like a tension of like pushing an edge almost, like something being stretched to the corner or something. And that's a sensation that I feel at the top of my solar plexus. It's almost between my solar plexus and my heart. There's that tension. So I just want to give it space here and to see how I feel toward it right now. Yeah, what I'm noticing I'm feeling toward it is like I want it to go away. Like I don't want it to be here. It's very uncomfortable. So the intention for me here is not to actually make it go away, but to give space to the feeling that wants it to go away. So I'm just imagining myself like feeling this feeling of like, oh, I really want it to go away, and just holding it, giving it space, almost imagining like it's a little kid and I'm its mother, just holding it, allowing it to be here. And now it's feeling like it's softened a little bit. This feeling of like, oh, I want it to go away. It's just like went from this like agitation, like, oh, I want it to go away, to just like relaxing. I didn't even know when I think that's the frustration. The frustration that I felt this morning is like really wanting it to go away. But now I'm going to take a step a little closer to this sensation, to this tension feeling. And I'm trying to release the story about it. Like, oh, this is shame, or this has happened because of that. And just being with the sensation. And I'm imagining myself sitting next to the sensation and trying to feel its vibe, trying to feel its energy. It's feeling to me like just like a little kid that just like is sad and like just want to be seen and like want to be loved and hugged. So now that I feel like I softened, I feel more compassion towards this part that just wants to be seen, just wants to be loved. It doesn't want to be fixed or changed. It just wants to be held and loved. So I'm sending it like energy of like, I see you, I see you, I feel you, and I'm feeling a lot of compassion toward you. Yeah, it's like this tension feels like some kind of like some kind of dent. If that makes sense, like some kind of like dent. I think that's the right word. And I'm going to ask it the first question, and I'm going to ask it, where did you come from? Where did you come from? Oh my gosh, this is a lot. Okay, this is a lot. Yeah, there's something around fear of being seen and fear of connection that is related to the shame that it brought up. And I do feel like it's related to this part of me, that little girl, whenever she was like seeking connection a lot of the times, or seeking being seen, it ended up like not feeling good. And I feel like it's going back to like sexual trauma that I went through. It just like feels like I've done a lot of work around my sexual trauma and like my fear of being seen, and it feels like a deeper layer in the spiral right now that's coming up. So I feel like this tiny little stupid experience that happened yesterday, because it was very small. It was like, I mean, if you'd see it from the side, I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's nothing, not a big deal. But it seems like not a big deal, but it's connected. It's a symptom to a deeper energetic sensation that is really, really, really goes really deep, of like fear. So it goes from my solar plexus down to my root. There's some kind of like message that this part is saying of, it's not safe to reach out for connection. It's not safe to be seen like that. You know, and I do feel called to share with you now what happened yesterday. And again, it may sound really stupid, but there was this woman that I wanted to connect with from the program. And I asked her, hey, I would like to connect with you on social media. Can we connect? And I was like, yeah, I don't know why it feels so weird for me to ask for that. Then what happened is that I said that, and she was like, yeah, sure. But then there was like one of the facilitators got freed, and she was like, oh, but I was waiting to talk to the facilitator. So basically she She was waiting for this woman to talk to her, and I came to her with this, and it just felt to me like such like surface level, such like not important at all. And she I felt like kind of like rejected when she said that, but I think the shame that came up for me was like around like, oh, this was like very stupid of me to like ask to connect on social media. I don't know, I think there's like, for me, there's like some judgment around like that. It feels like maybe superficial for me, but the deeper reason for me is like, I want to stay connected with these women that I just went through a very deep experience with. I want to stay connected with them after the program, which a lot of the times when I do programs, after the program, you don't hear about the people. But when you're connected on social media, you can somehow, you can somehow see each other's life, be involved, and also talk every once in a while. So this is a very stupid experience. It's like, in my eyes, was like, oh, that's stupid. Like, why would I care about that? But then it's like, wow, this is like really, there's something really deep that's sitting underneath. And as I'm sharing this, I'm also noticing there's like a layer around superficial that feels very triggering for me. And the trigger comes from, I mean, I'm not, I'm sure there's a lot of layers to it, but what's coming up for me right now is like, I witnessed my mom being really fake in a lot of the times. Like, she would be very nice to people, but then to us, she was not, she was like different. And there's something about fakeness and superficial um, behaviors that triggers me, that triggers me in others, but also triggers me in myself. Like, this is where I felt like superficial. This is where I felt, and I really judged myself a lot after that. And ooh, it feels really edgy to be like seen in it. I'm like, I really want to like slow down and like be in the sensation and like not bulldoze through the sensations. So I'm going to ask this sensation if it has anything it wants to teach me today after this experience. Like, because I believe that every trigger that we receive, it comes with like a deeper wound, but then there's also a lesson that is available for us. So I'm going to ask it, is there anything you want to teach me? What's coming up for me is, the message I receive is, it's okay for you to ask for your desires. Sometimes it will feel uncomfortable, but it's okay to work that muscle of asking for what you desire. And in that moment, what I desired is to stay connected with this person outside of the container. And I think for me, asking for my desires it's something that I've been connecting with like only in the past few months, and for myself. So even maybe for my husband a little bit, but like sharing my desires with like more people and with women, and especially one-on-one with women, there's something that feels very edgy for me around that. So it does feel to me like if I'm talking about the chakras, this whole experience for me feels like, now that I'm like processed it, it feels to me like my solar plexus is stretched a bit, and my sacral chakra stretched a bit, like really feeling my desires in my sacral chakra, and like wanting that connection, and then allow me to feel it, in like allow it to, I mean, I guess own it, and like, yeah, this is what I desire, this is me, this is more like solar plexus. It just feels like a little stretch of that feels uncomfortable, that stretch brings some shame into this experience. And I guess like, I didn't know I'm gonna go here, but now going here, I'm like, well, this is what's on the other side of going into the shame. Because my default pattern is to not feel ashamed and like ignore it, and then it would come out in all these ways of defenses, of like anger or avoidance, or frustration around people around me because I don't want to feel the shame. But this shame, now that I'm literally went through it and walked myself through it, and you witnessing me, this shame is here with a teaching. And the teaching is it's not just like a teaching that I'm reading in a book from the mind. It's a visceral felt sense experience, like a somatic experience in my body. Like, oh, this is how it feels when I feel my shame, and I learn from it, and all it is on an energetic level without any story or meaning is just my sacral and solar plexus are just stretching a little bit. And sometimes the stretching is a little bit uncomfortable. But I feel like if we go and sit with this uncomfortable sensation that is coming up, we can actually receive a lot from it. A lot of experience, a lot of teachings, and a lot of healing. Because whenever we have physical issues in the body, or again, like I said in the beginning, issues in relationships, or whatever the way, or issues with money, or issues with food, or whatever the thing is in our life that's showing up, it only comes to show that there's an energetic misalignment in one of our chakras, or maybe more than one of our chakras. So right now, I'm really grateful that this is what came up, and this is what I was with today. And I was like, I don't know where this video is going to go, but this is what's coming up for me, and I'm going to be very vulnerable and just go into this. And now I'm like I'm feeling more relaxed, and feeling like, oh wow, that makes sense, that it feels really uncomfortable for me to express my desires, and that expressing my desires will bring shame, because I was born and raised in a cult, and like I shared, actually made a whole YouTube video about why I'm grateful for my trauma, so I'm going to put it up here and also in the description below. But it makes sense that I would feel the shame, because in the cult where I came from, we were so programmed to be repressed, especially as women, and men too, both men and women. But women are so repressed. Desires, it's not even something that is even on the table. And when I was a kid, I always expressed my desires. Always. I was very expressive as a kid. And I would make it was loud, okay? The way I expressed my desires was loud. If I wanted to go to play with one of my cousins that was not religious, it was loud. I would cry for my mom for months that I just want to play with my cousin. She's my age, but it was not allowed because she was not religious. And so what it brings me to is expressing those desires as a kid, and being ignored, being neglected, being yelled at, being physically, hit, was kind of like a message from a very young age, oh, I have to stay silent. I cannot express my desires. There's no room for that for me. And I literally think, oh, I feel some emotion. I really feel how it's connected to my throat right now in this moment, because as you can hear, my voice is very rusty right now. And I just feel like my throat chakra for me is the most problematic one. And I feel like what's happening with my voice right now, it's also this uncomfortable stretch that's happening, of expressing myself during the weekend, and expressing my desires, and not just for myself or for my partner, or in secret, but I was really allowing myself to be seen in it. And I feel like what I'm experiencing right now, I feel like a stretch in my sacral chakra, a stretch in my solar plexus, and a stretch in my throat of actually bringing it into the world. And this is that stretch. You can hear the stretch in my voice. Oh, I feel chills saying that. It feels true for me. So I just want to, maybe just inviting you to maybe see as an uncomfortable situation that you're with, and that you're sitting in the uncomfortable feeling that it brings up as a stretch to whatever energy center it belongs to. Because like I said, like I always say, our entire human experience is in our energy centers. And whenever we're sitting in the uncomfortable emotions or whatever that's coming up, and we really allow ourselves to be present in it, there's an expansion that happens. So it's like there's a contraction of like, oh, the shame or the fear or the, whatever this is for you, or the expression feels like this. But then if you're sitting with it and allowing it, it basically leads to a deeper expansion, to the next layer of expansion. And that's what I'm feeling right now. Wow, I feel so much better in my body right now. And I'm just wanting to say thank you so much for witnessing me in this. And if you are someone who feels there's a specific thing that's coming up in your life on a energetic level, mental, emotional, or physical level, the work that we're doing, the work that I'm doing with clients, either here in person in Austin or on Zoom. Actually, most of my clients are on Zoom, so if you're not in Austin, this works perfectly on Zoom. Well, the work that we're doing is deep chakra work, weaving the chakras while being with these parts, while being present with them, create intimacy and relationship with them, and allow the transmutation to happen then. Whatever the blockage is, whatever the weakness is, whatever the out of balance sensations are, and the way it manifests into the physical and into your physical life. So I just want to invite you to check out the links in the description below. There's going to be a link specifically for a free discovery call, a 30-minute free discovery call where we can talk about where you're at, what is it that you want to work on. And I would love to support you if that's something that you feel in your body that feels in alignment for you, to expand and to come back to the true essence of who you are, that is already there, that is already whole. And it's just a matter of coming back to it from the programmings, from the trauma, from the stories that we were being told our entire life. It's a matter of coming back to the truth that is underneath all of these layers of stories and traumas and programmings. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.